Hello friends, welcome to the Agriculture channel. So today we are going to study about different farming system models for different agroclimatic zones of India. First of all, coming to different farming system models, first of all you should know that how many agroclimatic zones are there in India. And as you know that with respect to planning commission, we have 15 agroclimatic zones. And based upon the feasibility of different farming system models, we have classified these 15 agroclimatic zones into these 15 agroclimatic zones. It will be clubbed into or grouped into 8 regions. In order to suggest different farming system models, these 15 agroclimatic zones are grouped into basically 8 regions. So coming to the first region, if we'll see, the first region is this one. That means the Ladakh area. So as you know that this Ladakh area, majorly it covers the western Himalayan part. This is called as high altitude. First one is high altitude and cold desert. This is called as high altitude and cold desert. And as you know that which area will comes under, and this high altitude cold desert, mostly western Himalayan region, simultaneously major part it is the Ladakh area. As you know that these are high altitude. As you know that increase in height means the temperature will decrease. So as we go on increasing in height, the temperature will decrease. Hence in this Ladakh area or the western Himalayan part, most of the regions there will be snowfall is the major factor. Hence major part of the soil is fully covered with the snow. So here soil is fully covered with the snow. It's because of snow covered area, hence it is called as cold desert, because here cultivation of crops is very much limited. It is very much limited because of the snow cover area. Hence, because of crop is very much limited, hence majorly we are suggesting either you can go for any forest crops, or you are going for any pastures, or we are recommending some pastures. Pastures means the fodder grasses. And with respect to animal, we can suggest either we can go for rabbit. Mostly we are going for rabbit, or we can go for goat, or we can go for yak. And as we know that in these areas there is Angora goat. A breed is there, that is Angora. Whose wool is used for clothing purpose, and which is called as mohair wool. This wool is called as mohair wool, which is famous in these regions. So basically the yak and goat, the wool is used for clothing purpose, and Angora breed of goat as well as Angora breed of rabbit is also there, which is famous in this region. And because of majorly crop is limited, you have to remember, and forest areas, and we should go for some pastures. This is with respect to high altitude and cold desert. Then the second one is called as this one, that is the western and central Himalayan zone. This zone is called as western and central Himalayan zone. This is called as western and central Himalayan zone. So in this zone, as you know that this is also somewhat cold area. Hence in these areas majorly, but the snowfall it is less as compared to the Ladakh area. Hence we can go for some crops which can be grown in the cold regions. But basically we are going for horticultural crops. Like you can go for apple. Kashmiri apple is very much famous. Which are the area? You can say area, that is Jammu Kashmir is the area in this region, Jammu Kashmir, then you can go for Himachal Pradesh, Simla, and you can also go for Uttarakhand regions. So because of the cold area, hence majorly you can know that Kashmiri apple is very much famous in all over the India, and we are going for majorly horticultural crops, that is the apple, or you can go for pear. So in this region you can also go for peach. In case of horticultural crops, you can also go for peach. And with respect to field crop, we will see with respect to field crop, among field crops we can majorly take the wheat, maize, and we can go for barley, and also some of the so in some of the region maybe there will be going for rice, as well as some fodder, as well as because of the high altitude here also we are going for fodder, that is a pasture, as well as the we can go for forestry. And among the livestock we can go for, among the livestock you can go for mostly you are going for same, that is goat, which will resist somewhat cold region. You can go for goat, rabbit, and yak, as well as in some cases you can go for sheep. So this is the major livestock in this western and central Himalayan zone. And as you know that in these regions, whatever the crops you are going for, because of the high altitude and hilly areas are there, so we are mostly going for terrace farming. So we are going for terrace farming. So in this region, so these are the major farming system we can recommend in this, in the case of western and central Himalayan zone. Then coming to eastern Himalayan zone, this is called as eastern Himalayan zone. This is called as eastern Himalayan zone or eastern Himalayas. So as you know that whatever the southwest monsoon is there, as you know that if this is the southwest monsoon, if this is the southwest monsoon will be there, this is the southwest monsoon, and this southwest monsoon will hit, this is the region where Meghalaya Cherrapunji is there, and this is the eastern Himalayan zone where Meghalaya Cherrapunji will be there, and in this eastern Himalayan zone heavy rainfall is there. The situation is we can say very high to very high rainfall. Yes, because of water availability is very high, so in this area natural vegetation is present, and majorly we are going for agroforestry. Majorly we are going for what are the practices, that is agroforestry practices there. So as you know that whatever the northeastern states we like Assam, Manipur, Nagaland, in these areas high rainfall and agroforestry. We have to remember that in this eastern Himalayan zone, why the practice of agroforestry, which is called as shifting cultivation. Shifting cultivation is majorly practiced in these areas, but it is not scientifically acceptable. It is not scientifically acceptable. Okay, so for instead of shifting cultivation, you can recommend Tongia system, which is known as scientifically modified shifting cultivation. So coming to this eastern Himalayan zone, as you know that because of the high rainfall area and high altitude, we have classified into 3 zones. This eastern Himalayan zones will be grouped into or classified into 3 zones. So first, based upon the altitude. So first one will be less than 1000 meter above mean sea level. Next one will be 1000 to 2000 meter above mean sea level, and last one will be the more than 2000 meter above mean sea level. So based upon the height, as you know that increase in height, there will be decrease in the temperature. Hence, with respect to livestock, you can go for, as a high altitude, here you can go for cold water phase. Here we are going for cold water phase in these regions where the height is more than 2000. And most of the, because of high altitude in these regions, we are majorly going for horticultural crops. Horticultural crops you are going for, and some of the other crops like you can go for maize, you can go for wheat or rice or pulses or any pasture, because or any pasture you can go for, but these are should be under terraces. we can go for terrace farming over the high altitude regions. And if we'll see with respect to the livestock, majorly you are going for cold water fishes, as well as in some cases you are going for sheep or goat, because of the adverse conditions is there. And with respect to 1000 to 2000 meter above mean sea level, this in this cases you are, is because of water logging condition is there, because of high rainfall. Hence in some areas you can also go for fishes. And as you know that in these regions major consuming livestock is pig. So piggery is the major farming system unit you can take in this region. And if we'll see with respect to crop, you can go for rice, you can go for maize, you can also go for the pulses. And in these regions you can also go for the coal crops. Coal crops means the you can say the cabbage, cauliflower in these regions. Coming to less than 1000 meter above mean sea level, so under these regions, as you know that we can go for fish because of high water availability, and pig is also there because of more demand of this pig meat. And we can also go for dairy sector. You can also go for, in these areas you can also go for dairy sector. And among the crop you can take the rice because of water availability. Then you can also go for pulses, as well as you can go for vegetables. This is the major cropping system in this eastern Himalayan zone. This is the third one. Then next coming to fourth one. This fourth one is called as, this is the Indo-Gangetic Plain zone. We can see this region is called as the Indo-Gangetic Plain. This region is called as Indo-Gangetic Plain. So this is the Indo-Gangetic Plain areas. As we know that this will cover most of the part of, you can say the Punjab, you can say the Punjab, Haryana, Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, you can say. So with respect to Indo-Gangetic Plain, then you can take major livestock, that is the dairy unit. If we'll see major livestock, this will be the dairy unit. And other livestock you can go for also poultry. In some areas you can go for poultry. But major cropping system here, it will be rice based cropping system will be there. Rice based cropping system. And in this rice based cropping system, if we'll come to Punjab and Haryana region, the major cropping system will be the rice wheat cropping system. And with respect to Uttar Pradesh area, you can also find this UP area, you can also find the sugar cane you can find. And in these areas because of high availability of irrigation, because of irrigation facility, because of high irrigation area, so productivity of these areas is very high because of the irrigation facility. And whatever the soil you are found in this case, because of the alluvial soil is there, whatever the Indo-Gangetic Plain, because of the riverside soils are known as normally alluvial soils. And because of irrigation, we can say Punjab, Haryana regions, we are going for some intensive agriculture. We are going for intensive agriculture practice. Why? What do you mean by intensive agriculture? Intensive agriculture means heavy amount of application of fertilizer, use of high yielding varieties and hybrids to produce more amount of outputs per unit area. So that means that if the productivity is very much high per unit area, it is called as intensive agriculture, where you are utilizing more amount of inputs. But whereas with respect to eastern Himalayan zone, we can see where the shifting cultivation is practicing, or we are recommending the Tonga system, here less amount of inputs is used, and the shifting cultivation is called as extensive practice. This is known as extensive farming or extensive cropping system. So this is the with respect to Indo-Gangetic Plain. And if we'll see somehow in some parts we are going for maize, sugar cane and pulse is also taking. Then coming to Central and Southern Highland, this region is called as Central and Southern Highland. We can see this region is called as Central, this region is called as Central, this is called as Central and Southern highland. And because of this central and southern highland, this is called the Deccan Plateau, and the soil is normally basalt origin. And because of the high clay rich soil, and most of the regions, we can say Maharashtra, here Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, and some part of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, here coming under. So in these areas, because of the Maharashtra is the major part of this area, hence the soil mostly clay soil, and we can go for somewhat less rainfall, and it comes under peninsular region, and it will the peninsular region and with the less rainfall. Hence most of the areas are coming under dryland agriculture, and the climate is a semi-arid type of climate will be there, and most part of these regions are falling under dryland agriculture. And because of the Maharashtra regions of black soil you are founding, hence majorly the crop system we are going for cotton. Cotton is the major crop in these regions, and other millets like sorghum and bajra you can also go for. And Madhya Pradesh area is there, hence mostly we are going for some the pulses in these areas. And because of the dryland agriculture, we are measuring going for the hardy crops, that is the millets. And in this case, we are going for the livestock, and among the livestock, we are going for majorly sheep because of the dryland agriculture, and we can go for goat, and you can go for poultry. And to some extent, in some part where irrigation facility may be available, in these areas you can also go for dairy, but majorly we are going for sheep, goat, and poultry. And then the next one will be is called as the Western Ghat. So this region is called as the Western Ghat. This region is called as Western Ghat. This Western Ghat is majorly contributing some part of the Maharashtra and major part of the Karnataka, Kerala, and Goa. And this major part of the Karnataka, as you know that in these areas, Western Ghats, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Maharashtra receiving good rainfall. Here the good amount of rainfall we will get. Good rainfall is there. But the thing is that as in this Karnataka area, you can see the most of major crop, commercial crop is coffee, and you know there will be some silver oak tree. That is the silver oak tree, and there will be some black pepper, which is the climbing in nature, and there will be some coffee tree will be there. That is a coffee. And because of different layers, we are going for multi-storage cropping system is the major practice. Multi-storage cropping system is practiced in these areas. And we can see the major commercial crop in the Karnataka area is coffee, and this major commercial crop with respect to Eastern Himalayan is the tea, is the major commercial crop, or cash crop we can also go for. So in these areas of Western Ghat, you are going for coffee, tea. In some parts also we are going for tea, and you are going for coconut. You can see in the Kerala region, coconut is the famous plantation crops, and in some of the areas we are going for rubber. And these are the major activities. And among the crops, we are going for rice, and you are going for the pulses in some part of the areas. And if we will see with respect to the livestock, as good amount of rainfall is there, hence we can go for cattle, we can go for sheep, and we can also go for the goat among the livestock. So this is the thing with respect to the Western Ghat. So this region is called as the Western Ghat. This coming region, this region is called as the Western Ghat. If we just delete it, so we can see that this region is called as Western Ghat. Western Ghat. Okay. Then next coming to Western arid and desert region. Next region is called as Western, this part is called as Western arid. This part is called as Western arid and desert region. This is called as Western arid and desert region. As you know that because of the very less rainfall and the most climatic hazard is that frequent occurrence of the drought, and because of the less rainfall and high evaporation. Most of these areas are called as arid and semi-arid climate. Arid and semi-arid climate is there. Nature of climate is arid and semi-arid. And in these regions, because of high evaporation, most of the soils are poorly fertile in nature, and we are getting, or we have some of the, most of the soils are saline in nature because of the high evaporation. The mechanism here I can write: because of high evaporation, whatever the salts are there which are soluble in nature, they will come up along with the water, and at the time of evaporation, these salts will be accumulated over the soil surface. So most of the saline soils you can also find in these western arid and desert regions. And why desert? Because of the less rainfall, it is the crop choice is very much limited. And majorly, if we'll see which type of crop we are majorly growing in these regions, we are majorly growing either, we can go for millets. Majorly we are going for millets. Majorly we are going for millets and oilseeds. Majorly we are going for millets and oilseeds. As you know that, because whether it is the Rajasthan area or Gujarat areas, you can find out the millets and oilseeds. And among the livestock, the most important livestock is here camel. In the Rajasthan area, the most important animal is the camel, and other animals like you can find out the sheep and goat in these regions. Then coming to the we can see the last one, which is called as the delta and coastal plain. Under delta and coastal plain, you can find out this is the delta, this is the delta region, this is the delta regions, this is the delta region, and coastal plain, this is the coastal plain. Okay, so with respect to delta and coastal region, delta and coast, you can find out the delta and coastal plain. So in these delta and coastal regions, we can find out where there is high rainfall will be there. In these areas, high rainfall and coastal ecosystem we are finding. So majorly Odisha regions, Andhra Pradesh border, coastal line, and major part of the West Bengal. So in these areas, the major crop is rice because of high rainfall and low-lying areas. Mostly these delta and coastal plains are low-lying areas, and because of this low-lying areas, these areas are waterlogging condition is there. Hence, the major crop is the rice. And with respect to the in West Bengal region, you can also find out the jute crop because jute is also require more amount of water. And with respect to livestock, majorly we are going for pisciculture or fish cultivation or fish culture, and other we can go for goat, we can go for poultry, and also we can go for that is piggery, but major is the fish or pisciculture. This is the thing with respect to the farming system models for different agroclimatic zones of India. And the last one we can include that is the different island zones. We can find out different island zones. This is the island zones, whether it is in Andaman Nicobar or it will be the Lakshadweep. So in the island zone, you can also go for coconut plantation as majorly with respect to the crop, and with respect to the livestock, you can majorly go for the fish culture. So this is the thing with respect to the 8 regions which is allocating different farming system models for different climatic zones of India. Thank you.